So we've at the last stage now of this 3-4 hour workshops. We've gone through the 7 layers of team culture, understand how to use the team culture engagement survey, the character cards, the mobile app, group culture monthly reporting and insights, and now Parametrics for recruitment, performance review and coaching. So we're through all the different aspects. The next stage now is to really understand where there's further development, which parts you've taken on well and understood, which parts we can use to strengthen or support you. So it's an online knowledge assessment. I'll send you through those links. I'll probably get them out tomorrow, this evening or Monday morning.
Will you have time? Will we have time to study first?
Yes, you have.
I was thinking the same thing.
You can take the
No,
assessment.
I mean, because I in my mind, after giving these trainings, I have this, like 1 or 2 days that just for ShareTree, just I dedicated to study it, which I didn't know that we were going to have an assessment, but will we have a deadline, or can we just be more flexible on that?
You don't have to do the assessment at all. It's there, it's complimentary, it's included. If you want to run profiles and unpack for clients, we want to understand for a quality gate that you know what you're talking about. So that's why that's there. Definitely. We don't call it an exam because it's not an exam. It's a knowledge assessment. We want to know where there's gaps and close them with you, either by supporting you or you rediscovering and then having another attempt at it. So it includes 2 attempts complimentary as part of the process. There's no failure in our model. You can go back to this literally 100 times if you choose to until you understand it all. We want to embrace discovery and knowledge, and that's what that process is. Failure means to us feedback and insight for learning. That's what failure means to us. So let's see where we get feedback that you're not so strong, and then you've got 1 hour each in your coaching support sessions included with the program. Book that time and then we'll help you deploy this. You can use it for your Parametrics, you can use it for setting up your first program, you can use it for a co-delivered workshop, you can use it for reviewing your exam or your assessment, not your exam. That's the way to understand what we're doing. Improve your credentials, you'll get a formal certificate which has a validation number on it as well. So you can use this when you go out to clients and say, yep, we're certified by ShareTree Academy. I understand what I'm talking about in culture. I know how to use these tools and I know the evolution of culture. Here's how we unpack them. Here's who's backing me up as support if I need further information. Now, it's not just us. There's also another 62 people similar to yourselves out there. So it doesn't mean you can't run Parametrics profiles if you haven't completed the assessment. It just means you can't unpack them. So we can unpack them with you in the meantime until you get your assessment completed. You'll gain access to all of the materials in the partner program once you complete that. So we don't unlock the deployment materials. We give you what you need as you go along. So once we see that you understand the content, then we unpack the deployment content for you, and then you can co-brand that and deliver that with your clients, get us to deliver it, whatever model you choose.
So, Stephen, just to understand, for the unlocking the Parametrics assessment, or just for us to be using it, we have to pass this knowledge assessment, or do we need to just do like a 1 session of coaching and unpacking with you or with someone?
We've got to complete the assessment.
Complete the knowledge assessment.
Yes, the knowledge assessment, not the skills assessment. The skills assessment's by practicing. So the knowledge assessment is looking at how well you understand to use team culture engagement survey, the app, monthly reporting, and Parametrics. So once we see you have an understanding of that, and I'll take you through what the criteria is for that, then we unlock the materials for you to start deploying. And then we support you. Once you deploy a full culture shift program, and we have a measured shift from the engagement at the start of team culture engagement survey to the end, then we list you as a certified practitioner, which means you've demonstrated implementing these tools with a shifted outcome. And then we're creating a page at the moment which lists all the partners all around the world.
Okay.
So,
okay, perfect.
And again, they're all optional. You don't need to take an assessment. You can, some of our partners that have done this program, they just get us to do every unpack for them, every deployment for them. So some of them just get us to work beside them. So it really depends on how you want to do it. Most of them want to do it themselves.
And how does that skill assessment works?
This one?
Yeah.
Yep. So let me move on to that. We'll get to that next. So with the assessment, it's open book. There's 40 questions. So you've got the PDF in the resource link. You've got 2 hours. It only takes 20 minutes if you know the answers. You can look them up. So we're not there to see that you've got everything in your brain. So don't treat it like a traditional exam at university. We don't care if you look up the book. That's life. Look up the book. We want you to look up the book when you're working with a client, because that's where all the wisdom is. And then learn every single time by applying it. So that's the model that we have. There's 2 standard attempts built in. Most people, over 90%, get through the first time. So it's not complicated, so don't have any fear there. The target result that we're looking for understanding is 75%. So we know that 3/4 of the information we've covered, you understand the concepts of it, you know how to read them. A lot of the questions are easy. It just shows, okay, here is a Charametrics report. Name the contracting character strengths. Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, it's this group, this group. Simple stuff. Okay. Culture improvement project with an increased engagement is the skills assessment. Now, the way we go through that process, we will do that together. Yeah, that's the next part of deployment. If you want to do a full deployment at a client, I'll just open it up. Bear with me. So in the resources, you've got one called the character and culture development cycle. That's the #1 file in your resource list. This is how we typically do a culture deployment. Now, that diagram that we've shown on the slides a number of times that shows the 5 steps this is a more detailed view of that. This is, you know, the exact steps of what we do along the way. Now, it doesn't have to go in that sequence, but that is the more common way of doing it to get a successful outcome in a shorter period of time. So you do the survey, you do the culture, purpose, vision, and culture DNA. You set out a strategic plan. You nominate the leaders. You set out a strategic plan. You select the culture DNA, the primary and the secondary. You run the character and culture workshops, which we do with you. The organization character growth exercises, so you get them practicing to use the app. That will generate the reports. Then you help them unpack the reports, the leaders, navigate and tack their culture towards the strategy. And then we give a happiness and wellbeing impact report from that as well. And then lastly, we do a team culture engagement survey post that program to see the shift. So it's pretty straightforward.
And do we do this with, like, how do we do this? Like with an actual company, or how does?
You can do it through your company. You can outsource it to us and we do it with you. You can do it through another culture practitioner partner that's certified. There's many ways that you can do it. It's really up to you. But what we promote is you lead with your brand, and we are there to empower you and support you.
Okay, so you can just lay this out with your brand and what you want to see, or what what we want to show is that the shift.
We want to see this survey run at the start and this survey run at the end, and there's a shift in the culture engagement. That's what we want to do.
But that has to be like an actual data, right? That has to be just done with a group of people, and that
has to be a real culture.
Real culture.
Okay. Yeah.
Steve,
that's a good case study.
Yeah. Well, it validates you, knowing you know what you're doing and you're getting a result. Go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah. I just wondered, because I was thinking about doing it with Fairway while I'm there. With the engagement survey, we're due to do one. Can I see what the questions are on the survey? Is it a standard? It'd be the same survey for everyone, I imagine.
Yeah, so there's 7 layers by 5 levers. So we ask a question in every one of those layers by every one
Yep.
of the levers.
Yep. We have the aged care quality standards, and there's questions we have to ask. And I just wondered if I could look at the questions to see
Yeah,
if
so you
they
can
align.
add to the set. So the way that the process works is you request to do a team culture engagement survey. So if you go to the website, let me just open it up and show you. At the moment, it's complimentary to help people for COVID. That's about to end.
Yeah, I want to quickly jump in on that if I can.
Well, you got a credit anyway as a culture practitioner.
Oh, great.
But if you use one, if you use the free one now, then your credit will remain.
Oh, okay. Is that ending like any day now?
As soon as the lockdown's over, we're going to stop
Okay.
the free complimentary one. So you just click in this. This is on our website homepage. Then you can go into, there's a sample survey you can download. So you can show your clients or you can show
Fabulous.
your company, but it's also in the resource kit. Yeah, there's the samples are all in there.
Yeah,
then you take the survey. It's going to ask you questions to formulate the survey. So you become the host of the survey.
Yeah.
All of our reporting works through our practitioners. So Jen and Naz and Michelle, if you request parametrics, if you request team culture engagement survey, the reports go through you and you serve the client and we back you up. We don't go direct to the client.
And
Fabulous.
there's 2 options. This is when you click to take the survey, the other one you downloaded. So if I want to just, ask a company or organization to take the survey as the first step, right, to start the skill assessment, which one do I use? The download one?
So if you want them to do the survey, you are the host of the survey for them. You're their culture practitioner. So you will fill in their name. So this might be, company ABC. You are the primary contact, so it'll be Naz.
Okay.
And then the primary contact's role, you are the culture practitioner. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you say your contact details and your phone number. So this comes back to you. Now let me just fill that in for you so you see the next questions.
And then you get the link to send them?
Yeah, you'll get the link. So then ask you, okay, name all the departments and the number of people in each department. Yeah, and we don't go less than 5. So you'll learn all this as we go through it. Basically, you name all those departments, you consult with the client, and you prepare what are the departments that we're going to run for the survey. Then you set the date on when you want it to start and when you want it to end. And that's essentially it. Then we create the survey links. We send it out to you. You do a trial run, you and the client. That's where you'll see all the questions, Michelle, to answer your question. And then you get the option, if you want to customize, you can add questions to the survey. That's
Fabulous.
a fee for service component, but it happens often. People say, you know what, I want to add another layer of asking what your role is in the organization by hierarchy. It's like, yeah, as long as you don't segregate a group less than 5, because we're protecting privacy.
Yeah.
Fine. We want to add questions about current emotions in COVID. Yeah, that's one that's come up frequently. So we add all these extra questions in about COVID. So you can customize it how you like. There's a fee for that, but it's flexible to do what you like.
Fabulous.
And Stephen, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, Naz.
Just my last question, I hope. When we do the survey and then we do start the skill assessment with an organization, we don't get any support from you guys, right? It's just, we have to just run it through by ourselves.
No, we'll support you the whole way. So when you do a deployment, then we'll give you the first session and you can either deploy it together. The first one, we normally split the revenue between us. So we'll co-facilitate it. That's our normal model. And then you get to deliver it. But if you feel completely confident and you show that you understand how to deploy this and you've got a history of it, you can take the content and deploy it first, go yourself. Or you can get us to deploy it for you and you can observe it. And then you can do one partnered and then you can do one on your own. They're all options. The normal model is we deliver the first one together.
Okay.
Client,
okay. And then
they might have 20 groups, a big organization, but we deliver the first group together. And there's like, yeah, I'm comfortable now. I'll deliver all the other 19 groups independently. Or you might say, can you do one more together with me? And then we'll do another one. And then say, yeah, I'll do the next 18 on my own. And
and was there any cost? I think you mentioned some of the costs that, like to actually deploy that to an organization.
Yeah, we'll get to costs. Jen, you were going to ask something?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I might have missed, you mentioned that this is something that is part of the certification. We are able to do it once. Is that right? For free, I think you said?
Yeah, so we'll support you on the journey. And if you could either back you up and support you to deliver it independently if you're confident and you understand how it's deployed, or we co-deliver it. So we split the revenue and we deliver it together. And then after that, you're comfortable, you can deliver on your own. So it really is up to you what level of skill you already bring. So some people have come in already extremely well versed in culture deployment. So they just pick up the content and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to use these pieces here and I'm going to put this in the program. Some people say, you know what, I just want to deploy the app piece. I don't want to use Team Culture Engagement Survey. I use another software for this. And I don't want to use Parametrics. I use Disk, yeah? So it's really up to you how you want to integrate this into your business. But if you want,
cool.
Yeah, does that answer your question? So if you want to deploy the full program, we'll do it together. And then from there, you'll pick up all the content and the skills, and then you can deliver it yourself from there on.
Yeah, it might be offline then. So
you're dropping out there.
But I don't necessarily think that all of the elements, because of the size of business, is going to be sustainable. So I'm probably thinking of it with a particular scenario in mind. So they've already engaged me as a culture expert for them. I want to use this framework, so I'm learning as well. Might as well just get in. So yeah, I'm happy to chat offline, because it's probably just making sure that I'm thinking about it in the right headspace before I go and,
Yeah. So scoping your first skills deployment, we're there to support you, and that's what I was talking about. That's included, it's complimentary. We'll help you scope up your first work and see which pieces you want to pick to take from the ShareTree program into your own programs. So I think you've frozen up.
When deploying the first skill assessment with an organization is not complimentary. It's just the culture survey is complimentary, correct?
The Team Culture Engagement Survey, you have 1 credit. At the moment, it's running complimentary. The deployment, the workshops, to run the workshops, we will split the revenue. Anything that generates revenue, we split it if we're delivering it together until you're comfortable. Some people are comfortable straight away. Some people are never comfortable. Some people don't choose to become comfortable. So it really depends what you want to do. To scope up the work, we will support you to do that as well. So we have a proposal template, not that one. Here, this is the one. So what we're trying to do is empower you to have this process that we know is successful, so you can repeat it yourself over and over and over. Your success is our success. We are one tribe. So this is the template that we can help you use, and then you can customize it with your own logos and set up how you want, integrate it to what you already have as proposals. But you have then the process that we know is a proven way to go through scoping a culture shift program. What are the objectives? What are the measures of success? What is the journey? And this is all customizable. So these are the things that we'll give you as we go along in the deployment phase.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, great.
So you dropped out a bit there, Jen, along the way, but is that answering the question?
Yeah, it was just that scoping element. I mean, I understand. I would obviously look to do the knowledge competency piece anyway, to sort of work towards that accreditation, but then knowing that I potentially would be able to implement it straight away, which is trying to assess whether it was the right time to do that now, or if I'm better to, So anyway, yes.
So you can go as quick as you like. It's just how comfortable you are and what is the client that you're serving. Like if it's a multinational, I'd strongly encourage, let's work together and make sure you get the maximum outcome. But if you've done already 10 multinationals and you've had all these results and you're like, I just want to get your team app, ShareTree Team Culture app, and put that into my existing program. Then we'll have a look together and we'll say, okay, that fits really well. Go for it. Like we've got clients that have done that. They've just picked that up, plugged it into their program, and off they go. So it's all free to use the app. It's out there. But we want to ensure that you succeed. So in terms of where to from here, there's a number of different ways. If you just want to practice gratitude and you don't want to engage with ShareTree App, or you don't have a community, we've got a growing gratitude community on Facebook. Feel free to join that. We're running actually 3 weeks of workshops about bringing gratitude into your life, into your team, into your parenting style. The next space is where you are now, which is professional services. So you've just finished the 3 weeks of building competency and knowledge around deploying full culture programs. That creates you what we call a culture practitioner to do deployments. So you can be out there. When you engage a company, you could be doing it for them the same way we're supporting you. You could be building them up to do it for themselves and strategizing, or you could be just introducing them into the app and letting them go for it. So there's lots of different ways that your customers could engage. The last one is partnerships. So if you've got a large organization that wants to build a partnership with the software, we can partner on building that relationship as well. So for instance, there's a big multinational that's going to integrate what we're doing with ShareTree into their intranet. And so it's on their website and they could acknowledge each other through the system. It still builds the tree and everything as well. Pricing, which is what you were asking before, Naz. Again, all this stuff is in this folder, right? If you go into the folder that I sent you the link to, all of this stuff is in here.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yep. So pricing, we like to keep things simple. Everything is less 20% for the practitioners. So you can access us, the hardware, the reporting, everything is just less 20%. So retail buys it 20% higher than you. Now there's a few different things that you could buy in part of the service offering. You can buy our services if you want to leverage us to support you in your deployment. You put us in a whatever piece. You can buy the Team Culture Engagement Survey. The normal price is $500 for the first segment, and then every sub-segment that they want to break down is $250 per sub-segment. You get it for 20% less. So you can either charge the full price. What we recommend is to charge 5% less, so that if the client goes to our website, they see that they're getting it cheaper from you and they always buy from you. So you make 15% margin and they get 5% discount. So it keeps the stream always flowing through yourself. Some practitioners just bundle the whole lot together. They don't put any fees listed. They just say, yeah, I'm going to do a culture assessment for you. It's $5,000. I'm going to do 2 days of work, give you a full report, and they just bundle our report inside their services. So it's up to you, but you will get it for 20% less. So you'll get a coupon code. When you go to the website, you put your practitioner code in, the price automatically goes down by 20%. You've got a Culture Connect package. So that is an annual subscription. That is the only one, because of the software, that goes direct to the client because they're paying for it. But if you were buying the subscription for the client, it can go through you. But the better way to do it is let them buy it. So you sell them the first annual one, which you'll get the 20% discount on, but then the ongoing subscription is directly from their payment gateway. But you list yourself in their group as a culture practitioner, and then the reports go through you as their support agent. Parametrics, you can pick character strengths for culture fit, or you can just do character strengths on their own. So you don't have to take the metrics part. If you say, I just want to do character strengths or characteristics, just give me that first part of the report. Don't worry about the parametrics assessment. You could add disc if you want to add disc. And if you bundle the two together, it's cheaper. But one profile is $75. It's very reasonably priced to get those insights, to hold deep discussions, and you'll get it for 20% less. Physical products, we've got a big kiosk. This is like a huge mobile phone. Really useful for corporate clients. We put them in foyers, in tea rooms, in HR offices, and you can get a live feed of the culture like you have on your phone, just up there. We just don't recommend you shake it to get new cards. Like that's probably not ergonomically sound. But it works really well. It's full design of ShareTree. It's full eco-friendly. It turns completely off the screen, and when you walk up to it, it comes to life. So we can ship them anywhere you want in the world. You'll get that 20% less as well. Character cards as well. That's the list price that you'll get 20% less. If you buy bulk, if you buy 100 at a time, we can give them to you at a lower price. There is rustic wooden boxes that my dad just makes to keep him occupied. Of recycled fence paling, that's there as well, but they do display up nicely in that, you leave them, again, they leave them in the HR office, they have them there, someone comes in, they pull them out as part of the discussion. It works really well. Team meetings, foyers, whatever you like.
I have a quick question, Stephen. And so when we look at the page where it says skill assessment, just doing everything like team engagement survey, and then the list of everything, like unpacking, what is the total, the cost for organization to do it all?
Good question. See this here, starter bundle?
I don't, where is it?
Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I see it now. Sorry,
Yes, the
it's
starter
kind of late.
bundle
I don't.
That's the 4-day program, which includes 1 team culture engagement survey and 1 Chronometrics assessment. Normally we give that to the CEO. That runs over a group of 20. It's $10,000.
Okay.
Australian. In US, it's much less. You guys.
And that's for 4 days.
4 days.
Okay. And usually it takes 4 days, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a kind of a 1 day, or I'm sorry, 4 days workshop for a company would cost $10,000, Australian dollars. But if they want to do it by product, that's the price.
Correct.
Down.
So this is what we mostly sell, and it scales by groups. So if there's 100 people in the organization, it's 5 of these packages essentially that are running. So it'll be 50 grand on 100 people, and the savings is about $500,000. So our return on investment that we're getting when we go into organizations is about a 10 times factor, 1,000%. So that's a simple way to do it. There's another bundle which is 14,000, which includes the screen and everything. So and character cards as well per group. There's a couple of different bundles that we put together for people to make it easy. We'll work that out as we go along.
Okay.
So we're slightly over time. You're okay on your end to go a bit longer, Jen? I know you've got the kids.
I might have to go in 5 or 10, just depending on, but if it's being recorded.
We're basically done. So just recapping on the outcomes, is there anything you feel we've missed out of what you wanted out of the workshop?
No, it's been excellent.
I just need to go back, and I'm a very morning person, so I need to listen to everything that we have learned, which kind of comes very naturally, and I will remember for sure. And then next step is just it's very clear. The knowledge assessment, I think that will be my goal to actually do it the next. And then for that 1 hour session that comes complimentary, that we can just take anything, right? Just to practice.
Yeah. So I'll send you a link for 30 minutes, and that you can do it in chunks. But if you want the full 1 hour in one shot, then I can give you the 1 hour link, and then you book 1 hour. It's up to you. If we're working together on projects, the reality is we're just going to be always in communication like that. We just become business partners, but we don't force people into that. It's if you want that. If you want to work independently, that's fine as well. But we also need to keep our boundaries that we don't give all our time away and not make an income for our own charity. So it's just respecting each other. And
I want to just be in contact with you, Stephen, just to talk about this UN, sustainable goals, where I can actually insert ShareTree just for people's knowledge very quickly. But I will just set up we'll
set
your
up a
calendar.
Time.
Yeah.
Might even have a bit of time after this. So that is it at the end of it. So from here, what I'll do is send you through links to all of the program again for your ShareTree Academy to do your assessment, and also to book time. If you need anything, we're here. There's also some review links there as well. If you get the time, I'll send them through later in the email because I'm mindful of the time now, but it would be awesome to get your feedback about this workshop so we can continue to improve it. I think you've seen how it's grown, Michelle, since I think you were in the second intake the first time you came through.
Yeah, that was last December or November.
Yeah, so it's changed quite a bit, right?
Yeah, it has. Obviously, it was a bigger group too, and we were in person. But yeah, I found it incredibly enjoyable, and you've engaged the whole way through. So well done to you as a facilitator, because you've really, it's a 12-hour stint over 3 weeks. You're incredible.
Thanks for that. It means a lot coming from a master facilitator that just read out that.
I don't think I'm a master. I appreciate good facilitators though, because I'm sure we've all been in groups where there's been a pretty poor facilitator, and you just want to actually shoot yourself and get out of there somehow. It's horrible.
They've been some of my best teachers. It's like, yeah, I will never do that. I will never
That's
do
right.
that.
They like a laugh every now and then and a bit of fun as well.
Definitely.
Yeah,
It was
very
lovely
helpful.
to meet
Thank you.
you, Naz and Jen.
Yes,
Yeah, you
Jen,
too,
Michelle.
Thank you. It's been good discussion. Learn a lot.
Yeah, so we'll be connecting you all up. You'll be into the LinkedIn group. You're already on the ShareTree group, so you can see all the practitioners in there. And plus, we'll be putting you on our closed network group as well to keep you in communication. The new release means we can do updates, sending through the culture updates through the app. So we'll say, yeah, this is new, this report's new, these links are updated. That'll all come through the culture practitioner group. So enjoy. Thanks, everyone. Acknowledge all of your amazing strengths. You guys are, yeah, you're awesome, and it's a pleasure to be working with such spiritually enlightened people, and at the same time a passion to really serve others for their own growth. It's just a delight.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Stephen.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Bye.